GPS is Gigi's personal services. She's an RV expert with over 3 decades of experience. Visit thervadvisor.com today.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name's Tom Alexander, and we have our returning champions with us today. They are back. It is the Glampers. The Glampers. They joined us last year, and 3 of the 4 Glampers are with us right now. It's Arra, Nicole, and Chris, but I should point out that they have their Glamper names, which we have from left to right. It is Tornado, then Turbo, then Tina. So hi, folks. How are you?
Great. Good.
It's really great to see you again, and you guys look like you're just happy as can be, and I know you've done a lot of traveling, so the adventure continues, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know we've got some big news to share with our audience. Not only the big trip that you're taking, the ongoing journey, the never-ending party, but also a TV show in the offing. So we'll see. We want to hear about all of that stuff. First of all, are you in Savannah right now, or are you you're in Savannah?
Yes, we are in Savannah.
All right.
Our home base.
We're at base camp.
Base camp. I love that. And so when do you leave base camp for your next adventure?
Tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So being that this is recorded on the 10th of February, tomorrow will be the 11th and Thursday. So that would by the time people see this, you will have already gone on the road. And where to?
We're going trout fishing in North Carolina.
Wow. Okay. So a little trek northward to whereabouts in North Carolina?
Asheville, North Carolina area. So we're going to stay on the French Broad River, which is notorious for great trout fishing, and maybe hopefully see a little snow. We haven't seen snowfall, so that's kind of on a bucket list of things we want to see this year. So
right.
We're hoping to catch a couple of flurries.
Wow. Okay. So catch a couple flurries and catch a couple of rainbow or brownies, right?
Yeah.
Now listen, Tornado's saying she doesn't want to see the snow. Is that?
No. She don't want
I went to Kentucky a few weeks ago and they had snow. So
yeah.
That one's checked off for me, but it is pretty. It'll be pretty in the mountains.
It's pretty, but I grew up in Pennsylvania in the Pocono area, so I've seen plenty of snow in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But right now, I've lived in South Florida for almost 25 years, and I don't really care if I ever see snow again. It got to the point where I just got tired of shoveling out of it and sliding to work. So I just figured, I don't think so. I'm done with it. But it is pretty to look at, no question about it. Particularly up in the mountains in the middle of no place, and it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so trout fishing, are you experienced anglers?
I love to fish. That's my favorite pretty much hobby. So I try to do all types, saltwater, fresh, or like anywhere I go. I made like sort of a promise to myself about 5 years ago that I was going to try to fish every destination I went. And it doesn't always work out, but a lot of times it does. And I just try to kind of go with it. I'm not the best angler in the world, but it's something that I love and I have passion for.
So yeah. Tina is the fisherwoman on the logo.
I got it. I see that. Wow, that's fantastic. I love the logo, and it's pretty cool that you guys kind of have developed a brand, and that's really kind of that's the way it is now. You have that almost had a that silhouette almost had a Charlie's Angels. It kind of reminded me of, was that intentional to kind of go with that?
Well, it was not intentional, but
we are embracing our cheesy and 80s sitcom theme is kind of what we're going with.
Oh, you're going with the 80s sitcom theme. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
With a little Charlie's Angels because we're, I can't say ASS on live video.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but I
You're
got
badass.
you. But you're badass. You're a badass. I understand. Well, Charlie's Angels was, in a lot of ways, even though it wasn't necessarily a sitcom, it was played for the laughs in many ways, and it was very lighthearted in most cases, and launched some pretty big careers. So it's pretty cool. So speaking of launching careers. You guys are going to be getting into a whole other arena. People aren't just going to be following you now on Instagram or on your site or even YouTube. You're going to hopefully expand to television. And I want to find out all about that. And we will right after we take a quick break. I'm speaking with the Glampers. It is Tornado, Turbo, and Tina, a.k.a. Arra, Nicole, and Chris. And we'll be back right after these words. The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org. We are back on the RV Advisor podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and my guests are the Glampers. It is Arra, Nicole, and Chris, also known as Tornado, Turbo, and Tina. That's their glamping names. And there is, of course, one more. There's Tam Tam, who's also known as Tammy, who's a great friend of Nicole's. She's in Oregon and not with us today, but normally she gets on those trips. She leaves Oregon and gets, I guess, takes the red eye out to Savannah and off she goes with you, right? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, we pick her up in the airport in the Mini Winnie.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Very cool. Now I'm looking in the background. Boy, it looks like a really nice, I'll tell you, base camp's looking really pretty cool. I love the roaring fire in the background, and it looks very, very comfortable. And, I'd have a hard time leaving base camp, I think. But anyway, listen, some big news. You guys are taking it to the next level, if you will. You've shot a pilot, right, for a television show. Tell us a little bit about that. What's going on there?
There is a local production company. They're from California, but they recently settled in Savannah. And
I should point out that before you continue, Savannah, Atlanta in particular, Georgia has become it's kind of Hollywood East. The industry has really put great roots down in the state of Georgia. And I know I actually was with my son when he worked on a film project in Savannah a couple of years back, and a horror movie. So, there's a lot going on in Savannah. So please continue.
During the pandemic, we, are lucky in Georgia to be pretty open. So with these guys, it's like perfect timing.
Perfect timing with them. They came over from California. They've won Emmys. And they found us and said that they're huge fans, and they believe in what we're doing, and they want to help us spread the word of encouraging other people to be adventurous. And so they teamed up with us, Skyway Pictures, and we filmed. They're using footage from our past year of travels, as well as new footage that we filmed with them. So we're putting that together, and the pilot should be out next week.
That's fantastic. That is great. And do we have a title for the pilot yet, or is it just the Glampers?
I think it's just Glamping Adventures.
Glamping Adventures. Okay, great. And it's all four of you, or is it just the three of you? Or
it's the three of us.
Okay. So that's terrific. And you know, I'll tell you, it has become travel programming and RV shows and that kind of thing is growing. The interest in getting out there and life on the road is really appealing and interesting to people, and we're seeing more and more of it. So boy, I wish all three of you great success with that. That's fantastic.
And it's not just about life on the road, it's RVing, but at the same time, it's what adventures are you going to find when you park your RV? What adventures are you going to go on? Because, you know, there's no concerts, there's no shopping, there's restaurants, you know, can be closed.
Yeah.
And so it's enabling people to kind of get back to nature. And a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily do an outdoor adventure are now finding themselves in a camper and saying, what do we do? And let's find an adventure.
Yeah, it's new territory, if you will, because a lot of folks are you know, having in COVID times, obviously, which we've been living with for a year now. Hard to believe it's been a year. That, you know, we're having to, you know, make adjustments, you know, recalibrate and kind of figure out, you know, what are we going to do for fun? And people are inventing all kinds of new things, you know, sometimes from a serious situation or even tragedy, you know, new things emerge and new ideas are born. And sometimes that's the silver lining, I guess, as you can say. So you guys are out there and still being able to really enjoy the company of each other and still have fun, right?
Yeah, we can work on the road now. So we're just taking advantage of that time to be able to work on the road and figure out what shenanigans we can get into.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the shenanigans is, what's that, Arra?
Sometimes they just find us.
It finds you. All right. Well, you know what? That's good too. You know, you could corrupt the masses.
That's what we're doing.
I'm just having fun with you. So you also have another kind of major announcement. Tell us about that.
We, on our travels, we have realized that, I mean, we're a little, I don't like the word bougie. I heard that's recently a bad word, but we're you know, we're a little bit fancy. We like nice things. We like to be out in the woods and everything, but we don't want to rough it. And we like to stay in 5-star hotel resorts. But now with COVID, resorts are terrible to stay at. So, you know, that brings you back to the RV.
Right.
And where do you, what, we went on a purposeful trip to find luxury campgrounds. And we really realized that if you stay at luxury 5-star resorts and you're maybe getting a butler or a chef, there's no options for you for luxury campgrounds with amenities and services. So we are now just creating our own luxury campgrounds. So we have a island under contract off the coast of Georgia, and we are in due diligence right now, figuring out where we're going to put our dock and all the different cool things that we can do, turning an island into a campground.
No kidding. Wow. That's impressive. Boy, what a tall order that is. So you're going to build this thing from scratch.
The island will be the first one, but we plan on doing them kind of all over.
Wow, man, that is, wow. You guys are, so I wasn't kidding when I said you guys have a brand, because you guys are really, you know, it's becoming a cottage industry here. You guys are really, you know, the TV show, the island, the resorts, the whole camping.
We'll have glamping villages before you know it.
Man, I'm telling you. So cookbooks, the whole deal, right?
That's why they call me Turbo.
I can see that. Yeah, you're always in fifth gear, right?
Oh.
So let me ask. So the three of you, let me ask you this: do you have, when you guys are out on the road and doing things, do you have areas of expertise individually that you focus on? In other words, okay, Arra does X, Y, and Z, and Chris does, something else. And are there areas where you rely on each other for specific things?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm the engineer.
Uh-huh.
If something breaks, I try and fix it. I make sure all the fluids, like the oil changes, the
Hot
batteries, all of that is done.
That's all you. Yeah. So all the stuff I can't do. It's like
The hookup that nobody wants to do.
Hooking up the shitter.
yeah. Gotcha. Well, that's great. I mean, you must be proud. You're hooking that up, and it's a necessity.
It is. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to do it. Absolutely. Yeah. And what about you, Chris? What do you?
I direct the Mini Winnie. She's kind of like her own character. Our RV is, and I decide where usually she's going next and plan adventures. A lot of that is from, just my years of doing planning and that type of thing. So I figure out where Mini Winnie's going.
And that's kind of funny because Tina's the one who's lost. And we go on these adventures to try to help Tina find herself. And then she's in charge of planning where we're going on the adventure.
Right. Well, that's, hey, listen. Sometimes when you get lost, it's new stories come out. At least you get stories to tell, right? So it's not a complete
new experiences.
Yeah, something to share on the TV. So
But she also cooks. Like the little things.
She'll
like
catch
that.
us fish and then feed us.
Ah, okay. So are you the chief chef then as well, Tina?
Yeah.
Turbo and I both kind of. Yeah,
okay.
In the kitchen, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you all have your roles, and like a well-oiled machine, you got everything's moving in the right direction, except maybe you get lost once in a while.
The Mini Winnie, just a status update on her. She still has her check engine light on from the first day that we bought her. We've been about 6,400 miles so far.
Yeah.
She's okay. She hasn't overheated yet.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, she comes in hot. That's cool for the most part.
Right. Exactly. It's like the old joke. It's like, well, the check engine light came on, so I had it removed. It's like
you put a sticker over it.
Yeah, you put a sticker over it, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like you get bad news from the doctor and you say, no, just do me a favor and touch up the negatives. You don't have to actually get the surgery done. Well, listen, I'll tell you, it sounds like you guys have ramped it up to the next level from the last time we spoke. And even then there was a lot of fun stuff going on, a lot of energy and excitement. This time around, boy, you guys are like meteoric rise to the stratosphere here. So that's
we have one more surprise to show you at the end of our video of right now.
Oh wow, geez, this is it's like Christmas morning. I'm telling you, it's all right. Well, first of all, we want to say, by the way, let me ask, where's the best place for folks to track you down right now? I know we've got a lot of things going on, but is there a one-stop shop where they can find you?
Yes, our website will be live in a week or so, and that is
Glamping Adventure.
theglampingadventures.com.
Theglampingadventures.com. Okay, theglampingadventures.
You find us on social media platforms, Glamping Adventures.
We just got on TikTok. I'm obsessed with it now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so we're on all social media platforms, but our website is theglampingadventures.com.
There you go. Theglampingadventures.com, folks. And from there, of course, you can find them anywhere. You can get.
And we're going to have merchandise.
And merchandise.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I get a face cover, a mask from you guys? Is that a possibility? Walk around the supermarket.
We'll make you a glamper.
We'll make you a goodie bag.
Yeah.
Very glamper, Tom.
T-shirts. I love that hat you're wearing there, Turbo.
Want glamping adventure leggings?
I'll pass on the leggings. I think probably you don't want to. I don't think anybody really needs to see that. Just they want to hold on to their lunch for the day, and I think if I show leggings, it's not going to be good. So yeah. Listen, we'll find out where folks. We'll let folks know too where they can get some of this cool merchandise that you guys are about.
Through our website.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the big surprise here to take us out? What do we
Okay,
got?
so this is a hint
Okay.
to our next big adventure that Skyway Pictures is doing with us. Are you ready?
Yes. Oh boy. Okay. Wow.
Oh, can you see that?
Yes. All right.
That's just a hint. Upcoming episode.
Keep following us and find out, where our next adventures are and where we're going next.
All right. Well, I gotta tell you, the reaction on my face was, I think, said it all.
You had no idea. Go get them, Tiger.
Go get them, Tiger.
Thanks. I'm hoping I'll still be married after this episode airs.
We could give her some leggings.
There you go. You go. Well, listen, I'll tell you, what a fun time to speak with you, and we'll absolutely get you on again and find out the next latest adventure. And I really hope that we all of us wish you great success with the TV pilot, and let's see where that goes. And
we'll send it to you when we get it.
Wonderful. That's terrific. Well, Arra, aka Tornado, Nicole, aka Turbo, and we know why that's a thing, and Chris, aka Tina. They are the Glampers, and they're coming to hopefully a television near you. My name's Tom Alexander. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. We'll see you next time, and we'll be back in just a second.
Hey, RV owners and those thinking about owning. Want to maximize the fun and minimize the hassle of buying an RV? You need GPS. It's Gigi's personal service. Our $350 package gets you me, the expert advice, and a host of outstanding services. Visit thervadvisor.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the RV Advisor Podcast. Tom Alexander with you. And of course, you know who that is. It's our guest coordinator. It's
Hi, everyone.
Neve Carizacco. Hey, Neve. How's it going there? You're in your usual spot,
Usual spot. Nice and quiet in my car.
There you go. It's where we're accustomed to, I think if we saw you somewhere else, we may not recognize you.
Probably not, other than my house.
I know her from somewhere. But without the car, I can't quite. Anyway, what's new and exciting? What's happening?
What's new and exciting? Well, obviously we get a lot of our guests on the podcast from Instagram, which is, as we all know, a huge platform. And our posts, I was discussing our posts with our social media team the last day, and I'd like to do a little bit of a rejig on what we post. We post a lot about like the state parks and like what to do and stuff, but I'd love to get some feedback from our followers and members on what they'd like to see more of. I was thinking of tips and tricks. I was thinking of where to travel or how to travel in your RV safely during COVID, where to travel. So yeah, I was basically just trying to figure out what other things people would like to see on our Instagram page. My only other thought was a lot more like before and afters of people renovating or redoing their RV, since that's just such a huge thing right now. Mm-hmm. Personally, something I'd love to do too. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love if anyone has any, ideas on what else we can post about. I would love to do some changes. So yeah, other than that, everything is going great. We've had some fantastic people on the podcast lately. Yes. We are completely booked for the next 2 weeks, that's for sure and certain. But I'm still reaching out to people. People are reaching out to me to be on. So yeah, I'm really excited for the next few months.
Wonderful. So of course, any communication from you, the viewer, you, the listener, wants to check in with Neve, and maybe perhaps you have some suggestions on social media, or you may want to get on the show. Very simple. Just write to her at, go ahead, Neve, tell them.
Ncarey, Ncarey, at theorvadvisor.com. Or reach out to me via the RV Advisor, or RV Advisor, my apologies, on Instagram or Facebook.
There you go. Very simple. And we look forward to hearing from you. And of course, Neve, always great to see you. And we'll see you again. See you again next time right here on the RV Advisor podcast. For Neve Karizako, I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.